My name is Jonathan Brush. I'm the president and CEO of Unbound, which is a projects-based education company. And I've spent almost 25 years working in higher education and with youth and young adults in a variety of different roles. I've been the director of admissions for a selective private liberal arts college. I've been the director of student life for an online college community. I've spent time as part-time roles as youth, young adult pastors and junior high pastors. And what all of those things have had in common over that 25-year period is that I work with students and young people who are becoming adults or in the process of becoming adults and have to make big decisions. And one thing that I've noticed more than anything else is they tend to be really stressed out about those decisions. And over the years, I've asked myself, why are people so stressed out about this? And then over the course of more than 20 years, you can see the outcomes of those things and you say they're not only stressed out, but their outcomes are poor. In general, they don't make great big decisions. And why is that? And I think the reason for that is that the whole premise of how we go through the process of asking and answering some of these big questions and making some of these big decisions is wrong. And here's what I mean. When I talk to young people, almost without exception, their thinking is dominated by, what do I do next? And when they say, what do I do next? They think, how do I become an adult? And they equate becoming an adult with, what do I do? What is my career? And then there's a series of answers that they are told that they have to have. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? Everybody asks them that. And the assumption is that you have to know that. I want to be an attorney, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to be whatever. And the next thing is, okay, well, I have to know what I want to be so I can decide what I need to major in. Because there's a cultural assumption that if you're going to be successful, you have to go to college. And so what is it that I'm going to major in? And then once you figure out what you're major in is, what do I want to, where do I need to go to school? And so it's no wonder people are stressed out. When you're 16, 17, 18 years old, you have almost no life experience. You have really no idea of all the different options that are out there. And now with an information age, it looks like options are unlimited. And now you have to have the answers to these great big questions. And people tell you if you get the answer wrong, everything goes haywire. So people tend to default to a couple of things that they think make sense. I want to be an attorney because it sounds prestigious and powerful and make a lot of money. I want to be a doctor because it helps people, makes a lot of money. I want to be a professional athlete. I want to be a CSI investigator because that's what I saw on TV. I want to be a marine biologist because swimming with dolphins sounds like a lot of fun to do for a living. And I want to do that, so then I have to major in science, I have to major in law, I have to major in whatever, and then I have to go to this school. And then often people get in and they decide to figure out that they don't really do well in science, or they don't really want to do that, or they graduate and decide that's not really what they wanted to do for a career. And then they're kind of despondent and think, well, I've now messed everything up. See, I think that premise is completely incorrect. I think the idea that we would assume that young people, or you as a young person, have to know the answer to a question that most adults don't know the answer to is absolutely ridiculous. I think there's a whole different attitude and perspective you have to have here. And that is, what if instead of knowing the answers, the really important thing was you knew how to ask good questions? And what if instead of having to know the final answer to everything, that the point here was to ask good questions and then step by step, piece by piece, as an iterative, small process, that you would begin a journey of discovery to find those answers. And as you became more and more certain, then you made more and more decisions that were those bigger and bigger decisions that ultimately would lead you to an outcome that was a better match for what you want to do, what you were designed to do, what you were called to do. But you can do that piece by piece. You can do that slowly by asking good questions and then discovering those answers. And if you do that, you'll enter into a voyage of discovery. You'll enter into a time of figuring things out. This should be a lot of fun. It should be interesting, and it should not be stressful. That's what I want to teach you how to do. And when you do that, you will often start to find the questions behind the questions. For example, most people say, I need to know what college to go to, I need to know what I want to do. But the question behind the question is often people are asking this, how do I find work that I love? And in our next video, I'll talk to you about how you actually use this process to answer that question behind the question, how do you find work that you love and work that makes a difference in the world?